Cozy Acres. I'm Vince, and today we're going to work on trimming some of the stuff that I forgot to get to earlier this year. It's February, Valentine's Day. We're going to get to the hardy kiwi, and then I've got the grapes that I need to trim down, and then probably take a look at these grapes that are over yonder here and see if I can't get them trimmed down. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get to that, and I hope you enjoy the video. Runs all of these down here all cleaned out, so that way it goes straight up, and then all up above is where I want all of the fruiting branches to be at. So we're gonna trim up down here at the base and move to the next thing. So here we go. Apparently Jasmine is not too happy with whatever is around in the yard, I guess. Yeah, that figures. What I have to do is I'll have to tie that up so that way it climbs on up, because that's what we want it to do, is to climb. I think that's all I'm going to do to this. And like I said, I'm going to have to string this up so that way it stays in line. So there we have that. That's all done. So here we have one of two grapes. We got one here, and then we have one to the left of the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and trim the base of this one, and the first rung I'm going to use this one right here as my next leader, and then I'm going to trim everything else up, and then I'm also going to trim everything up here, and we're going to probably use this one right here as our side lobe, and we're going to probably use this one here as the other side lobe. So everything else is going to get taken off. So let's go ahead and do that now. I think that one is going to be the new one there. All right. Then I'm going to nip the ends off of both of these. Just right there. Do the same to this one over here. Right there, and then down here we're going to do the same right there. All right, and that is going to be that. So let's move to the next one. All right, this one here is just a little bit more sporadic all over, but I'm going to do the same thing. This one, the base had split down here at the very, very bottom. As you can see down here, you got two legs. I'm not going to be able to correct that, and I'm not, well, I mean, I suppose I could, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it as it is. So right side comes up and then goes to the first rung, and then the second rung, we're going to have to try to develop a way to get that second run going on. And there is a little spot up, it's hard to tell, but up here, I guess I suppose I adjust that. No, that's it, it's right there. That little guy right there, I think I'm going to use it as the new leader to go into the right. On the left side, we have this one up here, and then we have this one down here. I'm going to clean this down here, get rid of the vertical, and then up here I'll get rid of the verticals here, and then rest. And that should clean it all up. And then of course I'm going to get rid of everything else that's spurring off of that. So here we go. It's right there in Wisteria. I'm going to use this one right here as the new leader to come across, and we're going to cut it right there. This is a Wisteria here. So that's going to come down right there, and we'll tie it off. This one right here we're going to use as its new leader right here. So I'm going to take this off right there. And then cut everything else off. And then that's going to become the new leader there. This is the one I was talking about right here that I want to bring back this way. And then I'm going to tie it off like so right here. And then that's going to be the new leader here. And then I'll cut this off. For now, I'm going to leave all of this for this season to allow this bottom one to develop. And then once it starts to develop and get a thicker wood, then we'll go ahead and we'll cut this one on off, and that'll become the new run. Okay guys, I think that'll do it right there. Looking good, and it's something that's gotten done. Okay, right here is the base of the wisteria, and it needs to be cleaned up. So I'm going to go ahead and trim up the whole base of this all the way up and get it pruned up. Now that's all cleaned up. All right, now in front of the grapes and the wisteria is last year's calendula. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all of that old stuff and clean this up so that way we can lay down some new come spring. So we'll do that real quick. I don't like to pull this stuff out of the ground. I like keeping the roots in there. Helps feed the plants and the critters and the microbes, microorganisms and all of that good stuff. And the worms. They were pretty productive last year. As you can see, those are nice tall plants that were on here beforehand. Poor rosemary. I have to replace those. This is the original leader for the wisteria, and I'll have to pull this back up there. It kind of came down, I think, last year? I think it is, very beginning of last year. And I was just going to leave it, do its thing. But yeah, it needs to be put back up. And this should be the last one here. Dock. Plenty of that around here. Alrighty. Wisteria. All right, folks, I think that's that. I'll clean that up a bit. Looking a little bit better. The that rosemary plant, I'll probably redo it. Get a new one in there, or I might even take that one out, trim it all up back down to its base stems that work well, and then use it as a fill-in for other places. Right here, you'll see we got the row of rosemary all the way along up through here. Come spring, so March, April-ish, we will trim them somewhat down and get them started on their new stems to fill in. But that's not now. We'll do that a little bit later. Other than that, I think everything else is looking pretty decent around here. We still got some more trimming to do out here. In fact, you know what? I ought to go do those daylilies, get them trimmed up. The old, because the new is already coming out. You'll have to excuse the camera movements. But as you can see, the daylilies are starting to come on out. So I'm going to go ahead and trim those up too while I'm at it. I'm out here and it's quiet. Really and truthfully, I think I can just pull this stuff on out. Yep. let's just do that. Get these things cleaned up. Just keep this stuff here, help cover it all up. But here it is, like I said, it's February 14th today. And we're already starting to see things growing, sprouting out. And I'm afraid we're probably going to get hit with some cold snap on the coast here. And it's going to stunt all this stuff. But that's not surprising. This happens every year. So we deal. I mean, good heavens, the tulips are already coming out as it is. All right, well, that cleaned them up. So that should be good to go. Right behind me in the camera, we got honeyberry that we're probably going to move. I think this fall. I might even move them before. I'm not real sure if I want to do that or not, but I think I'm going to. Anyhow, I got two honeyberries right here that I want to put back over yonder. Let me gently as possible as I can. But anyhow, there's a honeyberry right there, like right here. And then there's a honeyberry right there. I'm gonna move both of those honeyberries, and we're gonna move them back behind these two honeyberries. So there's a honeyberry there, a honeyberry there. So we're gonna put them back here. And then it's very hard to see, but right there and right there are cranberries. So hopefully they'll do okay, and that'll help keep ground cover through all of this area. We'll keep adding to it, and that way it'll fill all in. But yeah, I mean, we got all kinds of excitement going on. This right here is a jostaberry, I do believe. Yeah, a jostaberry or a gooseberry, one of the two. I can't never remember. This here is the Wigglia, and I can already see on it, Viglia or whatever you want to call it, but anyhow, it's starting to, there and there, they're starting to bloom. I mean, bud out. So that's kind of cool. And then all kinds of this is a beautyberry. Let's see the berries on that one. We just love that. This is pretty. The birds like it. And then over here, we got a blueberry. And I mean, it's going to town too, if you can see big old fat flowers on those things. I mean, this whole section back here is just nothing but flowers. So that's going to be another one. And then right here is another currant. And then back here, right there, and right there are blueberries. And they're starting to get their flowers all out heavy. This right here is the blue huckleberry, and you guys seen me trim that guy up. So yeah, things are springing up pretty good. Fish in their morning sleep. And then, oh yeah, look over here, the garlic is just going to town. This is a fantastic thing. So yeah, see all the garlic there, all the way up there, and then mostly there. And it's doing just absolutely fantastic. Hopefully it continues to do fantastic. And then back here you see these bunches. All three of those, four of those are all actually just laying on the top of the ground. They're not even buried, and they're still producing and they're still growing. That's what happens when you live on the coast and there's that much rain. It's enough to keep these plants going even out of the ground. And then this crazy thing. It is, what do they call this? Maple vine? Ah, that doesn't sound right. There we go. Flowering maple. I don't know why I never remember that. But anyways, this cotton picking thing, I mean, look at that. This is February, folks. And this thing is just continues to bloom. Continues to grow. But it is a pretty cool plant. I mean, come on, guys, look at that. Look at that. That's just too cool. Hummingbirds enjoy it. And that way they're not starving to death during the wintertime. Anyways, all right, folks, I've rambled along enough. Jasmine and I want to wish everybody a beautiful day and a happy Valentine's Day. Till then, like, subscribe, and comment. We'd love to hear from everybody and share your ideas, comments, good, bad, or indifferent. Y'all have a beautiful day.